Welcome back. I'm Ted Thomas. In this episode, I'm going to answer the question, is New Jersey a tax lien or a tax deed state? Now, I'm going to finish by telling you other things, and I'm going to give you some tips about how to make some money. And in addition to that, I'm going to show you the mistakes that you want to avoid. So stay tuned. Wow, what you're going to learn is going to surprise you. Not only surprise you, but you're going to learn the reason why you want to buy tax lien certificates if you can, and you're going to learn what the risks are, and you're going to learn how to make some pretty big money. Is New Jersey a tax lien or a tax deed state? Well, first of all, they have 21 counties. Surprise, surprise. Tax liens is what they sell in New Jersey. Now, New Jersey pays 18% per annum. Now, keep in mind, per annum means you only get 1.5% every single month. Now, the largest counties, we could talk about those, but the reason we talk about them is they're populous. They have a lot of people. That's where you're going to find a lot of tax lien certificates. Now, I think it's important to understand the difference between tax liens and tax deeds. So let me take a minute and explain that. So if your property went to tax auction, it would be as a result of not paying taxes. So thousands of property owners are not going to pay their tax. When they don't pay their tax, there's a problem at the county. Now, of course, you had a problem, but they have a county problem too. And the county problem simply is this. They're not going to be able to pay the police, the fire department, fix the roads, pay for the hospitals. What about the school teachers? They're all paid at the county. So the county has a lot of different bills to pay. Now let's think about this a little bit. The county doesn't have money, what are they going to do? That's how the tax lien came about. They issued a tax lien because you haven't paid your taxes, and now the property is in default. Now, generally speaking, there's going to be thousands and thousands of tax lien certificates. Now, a place like New Jersey, don't be surprised statewide if they have 20, 30, or even 40,000 tax lien certificates. Now, how do they work? Well, tax liens work one way. They just issue a piece of paper. What is that piece of paper? It's a lien against the property. It simply says, if you don't pay the property tax, they're going to sell the lien. Now, when they sell that, anybody can buy it. Now, I like to buy them because I know I can make up to 18% in New Jersey. Now, no one's going to tell you about this, but I'll tell you right now before you go to the auction. It's a down bidding process when you go to auction. So it starts at 18, then it goes 17.5, 17, 16.5. It'll continue all the way down to 1/4%. So when you buy a tax lien, you do not get the property. All you have is a right in that property. That right is this. If the property owner doesn't pay you and buy your certificate back, you're going to get the property. Now, this is the safest, the most lucrative investment in America today. How did it get that way? Well, the government made the rule, and here's the rule. You invest with the government, you're going to get a check back from the government. That's going to make this predictable, certain, and secure. Nice investment. Predictable, certain, and secure. If they don't pay you, the law says that you're going to get the property. So just to give that a little bit of thought. All right, now let's talk a little bit about tax deeds. Now, tax deed is altogether different. Half of the states will sell tax deeds. Now, if a property is sold at a tax deed auction, you actually get the property. Now, how about that? So how much did you pay for the property? Well, you paid whatever the back taxes were. So in both cases, you're worried about the mortgage. All right, so first let's talk about that. So in the East, we call it a mortgage. In the West, it's called a deed of trust. In the South, it's going to be a security deed. But in all cases, it's just an IOU. You say to the bank, give me the money, I'll owe you the money. So that's all the mortgage is. Nothing complicated about that. But here's the beauty of tax lien certificates and tax deeds. Whenever a tax lien certificate is sold and the auction takes place, it wipes out the mortgage. The mortgage is done. It's over. There is no mortgage on that property. It's wiped out. Now you're saying, how can that happen? It happens because it's the law in every county and every state. Every county and every state. All right, so let's go back to why all this took place. It all took place because the local county needs money to run the government. Now, you don't ever worry about that, but take my word for it. The government worries about it a lot. So who has to get paid? Well, first of all, the county employees want to get paid. Secondly, the school teachers would like to get paid. Now, what about all those buildings? Who's going to maintain them? County maintains those. What about the roads? Who maintains all the roads? You're kind of getting the idea. The county has a lot of bills to pay. Now, they help out at the hospital. They do things like that are charity things. The county helps out. So they need to collect this money. If they don't collect the money, the county would go bankrupt and you wouldn't have all the services you expect. So with tax deeds and tax liens, all the county is trying to do is collect their money. So now let's go ahead and elaborate a little bit on this, okay? Now, who is Ted Thomas? Well, I started 30 years ago myself doing this, buying and reselling and making money. Then about 25 years ago, I started teaching the world how to do this. So that's what I'm doing now, is teaching people how to do this. And as we go along on these videos, you'll see many examples of people making money. I'm not talking about small amounts of money. I'm talking about big amounts of money. So I can give you testimonials about people all day long, but some people buy tax lien certificates and invest $30,000, $50,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Other people start small with $3,000 or $4,000, and they're happy to do both ways. Regarding tax liens, a lot of states sell tax liens. As a matter of fact, half of the states in the United States will sell tax lien certificates. That means the county will send a notice. That's called due process, by the way. They're going to send a notice to those property owners who have not paid their taxes. All right, now places like California, which many people are from California, or New York, well, you're going to find out those states don't sell tax lien certificates. They actually sell tax defaulted properties. So they call those tax deeds. Now, those states are ruthless. By that I mean, if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to send you a notice. Remember, that's due process. They're going to send you that notice, and when they do, they're going to start a foreclosure, and they're going to seize, confiscate that property. They're going to take it away. Now, the people that buy those, that's you and I, we get the deal of a century. How do we get that great deal? Because all we paid at a tax deed auction, all we paid was the back taxes, and we raised our hand and did that in an auction. Well, when the gavel comes down, you own the property. That means it's your property to take care of, it's your property to sell. If it's got problems on it, it's your property. So tax liens and tax deeds are completely different. So a tax lien is easy. You just buy a piece of paper. That's all you're buying. All right, so let's go to a place like Texas real quick. I'm going to talk a lot about Texas on these videos. In Texas, they sell what's called a redeemable deed. Today, we won't have time for redeemable deeds because we're really concentrating on tax lien certificates. And you remember, the question we're answering today is New Jersey a tax lien state or is it a tax deed state? So remember, tax lien certificates, you can earn up to 18% in New Jersey. Same in Florida, you could earn 18%. But other states, like South Carolina, it's only 12%. Lowest I've ever seen is the state of Oklahoma, where they paid 8%. So you need to know about those states. So part of the learning process always is there's a footpath in front of you, and you just follow the path. And if you'll do that and get someone to guide you, you're going to do very well at this because it's a simple business. It's been around for 200 years. I didn't invent it. I just started doing it myself, and then people started asking me questions. The more questions I got, the more things I wrote down, and now here we are teaching people on YouTube how to do all this. So a question that's asked on a regular basis is, what is 18%? What does that mean? Well, it means this. It means you raised your hand at the auction, you bought a certificate. Now, that certificate is nothing more than a piece of paper. You don't own a property. You just own a piece of paper. But you actually purchased the local government's right of ownership in that property. And whether you know it or not, all properties in the United States are owned by the local government. Okay, so this is a republic, so the republic granted the county the ability to collect taxes. All right, now what you did is you bought a certificate. That certificate will pay you 18%, or in the case of New Jersey, it'll pay you 1.5% per month for every month that the property owner doesn't pay the tax. So let me repeat that and see if I've been clear. Number one, you'll earn 18% as the top rate that you could earn in New Jersey, but you'll get it at the rate of 1.5% per month when the property owner pays. You see, the county doesn't have any money, and that's why they sold you the certificate, because they need money to run the government, as I mentioned before. So you're actually paying the money to run the government, and when the people come in and pay their tax, they have to pay all of the tax, so you get back all your money, plus you get 18% per annum. This is a powerful rate of return. Bank of America is paying about 1% as I make this video. Wells Fargo, same kind of thing. Maybe your local bank is even less than that. So you're going to get 18%. These are powerful earnings. 18%, you'll double your money every 4 years. Pretty good rate of return, don't you think? I promised you I'd teach you how to make some money, so we've done a little bit of that. We'll do a lot more in the future. But let's talk about the big mistakes that newcomers make. All right, now newcomers, they think they're just going to go down to this auction, start buying. No, you don't want to do that. You need to do some learning. You have to put in a little time, get a little bit of education here, and that's going to be relatively easy. All right, so let me give you the two mistakes that you want to learn about. Number one, don't buy any tax lien certificate and don't buy any tax deed unless you've looked at the property. Now, ladies, you all know you wouldn't marry the guy without looking at him. And you guys, you're particular too, so you're going to say, I'm not marrying her without looking at her. All right, so don't buy a property without looking at it. It could be in the ghetto. It could be burned down. It could have had a chicken farm built next to it, whatever. The point is, you don't want to look at it. So every property is going to be listed as a number when they're selling. Remember, the government's selling a number. They're not selling a property. So they're going to sell that number to you. I'm going to suggest you have had a good look at it. All right, now the biggest mistake newcomers make, and old timers, and you'll see it every time you go to an auction, is people will sit there, raise their hand, buy at the auction, and when they do, they'll turn to their spouse and they say, Gladys, let's go look and see what we bought. Now think about what that person just said. They have no idea what they bought. So how did they know what their bidding strategy was? We spent hours teaching your bidding strategy. Buy it low, make money fast. That's what we teach. If you'd like to have a free mini course, I've created one, and it's actually free, and all you have to do is go to the link that's below.